Quantum teleports behind Miles Morales. They get into a fight, and Miles wakes up in his Spider-Man suit while restrained to a wall. ChatGPT starts talking to him, and he yells at it, so it electrocutes him. The AI is revealed to be the assessor who wants to send Miles through a series of trials to test his limits. When Miles refuses, the assessor shows him footage of his family, threatening to hurt them if he doesn't cooperate. The assessor frees him, and the testing begins. Miles destroys death robots and proves himself by climbing for hours. Later, he wakes up restrained once again and begs to be let go before undergoing countless experiments and torture to test his limits. Miles overhears the scientists plotting to kidnap his parents for testing, so Miles escapes his shackles but gets confronted once again by Quantum. However, Miles manages to predict his teleportation and take him down before finally running to freedom, only to realize he's trapped in the same room he woke up in. Eventually, Uncle Aaron and Miles' dad break into the building and find him tied to a wall with needles poked into him. When Quantum shows up to fight them, they take him down and finally take Miles home to safety. Sometime later, Miles and Tony eat sushi on a rooftop, and Miles recalls the time he was kidnapped and tortured by a sadistic AI model named the Assessor. Tony sympathizes with Miles since he was also kidnapped and tortured. He decides to avenge Miles and tracks down the Assessor. He fights off the goons and runs into Quantum.
Welcome to Ann Arbor and the Big House, home to one of the most storied programs in college football and the first one to win 1,000 games, the Michigan Wolverines. And while today is the final home game of the season for one team, it is more importantly a celebration, Senior Day, as we'll see the number 13 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the 20th ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Wolverines will kick it away to start us off. He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This crowd trying to show them what it's going to be like all day in this house. They'll run it from the gun. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain. Ohio State pulled out a classic and won close over the Wolverines last season.
Man, it's so nice to know you got a team that in the biggest moments in the game, the huge rivalry game, your big game of the year, they can come up clutch and make those big plays. Ohio State did.
Pass on the way. It's picked off. He was looking for running room, but they get him down at the 28, and now they are set up.
Well, statistically, this defense is not one of the better units against the pass. They're trying to change that here today. What a great job tracking the ball down, making a play on it, stabbing it out of the air for a big interception early. That should be massive for their confidence.
Excellent field position here for the offense. Looking to the big tight end. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab.
Man, I love those guys that are willing to put their body on the line, and he does it right here, man. Just lays out. That ball's coming in. You can see it from several yards out, making that play, laying out, keeping the football from touching the turf. Great concentration, great effort by the receiver.
Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line in this one.
And you can feel it. You can feel the energy. The players this week, they were on high. Like you could tell, they were ready for the challenge. This is going to be an absolute showdown.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Second and goal for the offense. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Quick strike complete. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Wolverines. And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing it at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
From inside the 20, chance for great field position. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. Running back searching for a hole. They make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31. It has been a season to forget, and honesty compels us to say changes are probably coming.
I'm not sure, but I think Reese Davis just fired a coach. Is that what I heard? I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. Listen, hasn't gone well. You've heard the outside noise continuing to get louder and louder. Haven't met expectations. And this is the business we live in college sports, when you get paid a lot of money to do a job and you don't perform.
Listen, at the end of the day in college football, it's results-oriented. They've lost football games this year, and so all signs right now pointing to them potentially making that change before next season. If they're going to stay competitive and they're going to field the best team and program possible heading into next year, then it looks as though a change is inevitable here.
They're working that left side, and he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
Well, the short passing game is where it goes from the offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react in the plays. So this can certainly open things up later on.
And the Buckeyes will move the sticks with the first down.
Well, you see a great individual effort there that time, and you can see the skills this guy has, and he just reminds me sometimes of the great Ohio State backs we've seen in the past, right? You think of Archie Griffin and his 2 Heisman trophies, Ezekiel Elliott, J.K. Dobbins. This guy right here with his skill set, he's got the chance to be the next great Buckeye back.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down and 2nd and 6. He's looking to throw. Takes his shot. Working that left side. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
And how about the year he's put together? I mean, he is in the top 10 in passing in college football, obviously. And obviously, we're talking about him for the Heisman. But just a guy you've been able to trust, a dynamic passer, throwing the football all over the yard. This team has been built on him, and he's had an unbelievable season.
Defenses have their hands full with him. They just give up a big pass there for a first down, but it's not just the arm you got to worry about, it's his legs too. This guy's top 10 in the nation, total touchdowns scored, and that's why he's in the discussion for the Heisman Trophy.
The Buckeyes have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Wants to go up top. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Ohio State. What a run for this playmaker to just elude the defense and get in for the score.
And I tell you what, defensively, you can't let this guy get on the edges. You cannot give up contain when your defensive ends. You got to stay outside. You got to make sure you know this guy's going to scramble and try to make plays, and you got to make sure you keep him in the pocket.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Guys, here come those maize and blue wing helmets on offense. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening. Run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense that last drive, too, on that touchdown. Everybody on the same page. These guys have repped these plays over and over in practice and in games, and it's working.
Yeah, so I got to find a way to disrupt it. I got to find a way to maybe be more aggressive, maybe blitz, mess up this rhythm they got going.
And he's down at the 41. That's a first down.
I love this guy because he brings a physicality to this Michigan offense. Bo Schembechler would have loved this guy. He would have loved to jog a few extra tight ends on the field, get the QB under center, student body right, and give this guy the football. He would have fit in perfectly with his running style. Man, he is hard to bring down.
There's so many great rivalries in college football, guys, but I think this one, because of the disdain and the excellence, sort of rises to the top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are great rivalries scattered all around this country. In-state rivalries, interconference rivalries, with great history, great pageantry. But I think what makes Ohio State versus Michigan unique is the fact that more often than not, these are two teams competing for national championships at the end of the year, and this game really does determine the national landscape.
And 19 national championships between the two teams. Late in the year, it always matters. You go back to 2006, number 1 versus number 2. So always disdain, always hate. Don't even call each other by their names. Like, this rivalry means so much to college football.
And the Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs. Red pass, it's complete. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick six. So nice job by the quarterback with his accuracy.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. This is the type of play that decides games. Are you tough enough to convert third and short from the 30? Motion from the offense. Out of the shotgun on third down. Gets it out quickly. And he couldn't quite get to the marker, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
I mean, good news here, they get the completion. Bad news, though, not enough to pick up the first down. The target there, he's got to do a better job understanding where the first down marker is, make sure he gets the right depth on his route. Now, all of a sudden, head coach has a big decision to make.
Thought maybe they would consider the field goal here, but the offense is staying out there on fourth down. The Wolverines get enough for the first down.
4th and 1, I got to know my situation. I got to know I can't mess around as a running back. I got to get through the hole, make the first down. No matter what, if I got to run somebody over, I'm running straight downhill, straight for those sticks, making sure I get that first down.
And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
And those outside linebackers nowadays, they're so fast. They got to cover ground. You can blitz them off the edge, and they can get after quarterbacks. Versatile. That's why they're getting drafted so high in the NFL and getting paid all that money.
Spits it out to the back. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. Now on fourth down, here comes the field goal team. And he'll try to knock it through from 33 yards out. Right down the boulevard, it's good. And with that, they've taken the lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. Louisiana is ahead in this one, but unlike the days of Jake Delhomme and Brian Mitchell, this has not been a blowout today in Lafayette. They're up by 7 over Appalachian State. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, we'll see it right here.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. He'll come out throwing on first down. Going for it all. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on second down. He's looking to throw. Swings it out to the flat. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down.
That's a really nice throw. You think about being the starting quarterback at The Ohio State University with all the great players they've had here recently, what this offense expects from you. This is explosive passing attack. You've seen that now in recent years. They push the ball vertically down the field. This guy has the skill set. That's why he's out there on the field right now. He allows this offense to really go, and he's playing at a high level.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Quarterback on the keeper. Kept it and he's past the marker. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch, as you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
He's going to pass. He tries to take the top off. He makes a grab. Touchdown, Buckeyes. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him. Quarterbacks love receivers that can get separation, but that amount of separation is a little excessive.
I agree, Reese, and I think the defense needs to have a little powwow on the sidelines and talk about what just happened, because that was an absolute busted coverage on the back end. Defense can't keep playing like that.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner goes down. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
Direct snap. Punches ahead, they'll give him a yard to the 13.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Got his man quickly. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. He just didn't have a chance to get loose and make his way to that first down marker.
I think fans get upset sometimes. Like, run your route past the sticks so we get the first down. But nice job by the defense understanding where the sticks were and forcing the 4th down.
The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time, wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. Let's see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
Now here on 2nd down, see if they keep tossing it around. They'll try the left side. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
That's a really nice run right there. And one of the things I love about him, he runs with such physicality and with the toughness. Do you think Woody Hayes, the great Ohio State coach, would have loved to have this guy in his backfield? His running style just marries so well with that. When you think about Ohio State and their tradition at running back, right? With all the athletes they've had throughout the decades, this guy was meant to play in the shoe.
This offense has a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. These two first squared off in 1897, and this rivalry is almost like a history of the sport itself.
So much history, so much tradition. I can go back to 2006 when they were 1 and 2 in the country. You know, like, these games really matter. The uniforms are clean. The athletes are flowing. There's tons of athletes all over the place. This is always a huge showdown.
And you think about some of the great coaches that have graced the sidelines in this rivalry. Bo Schembechler at Michigan and Woody Hayes at Ohio State. And it's amazing, in a conference full of trophy games, maybe the greatest rivalry doesn't even have one.
The Buckeyes will send out the punt unit. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really quickly. They need to put something together here, Palmer.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive, so they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit in this one.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding the ball so he can break some of those big runs, but I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
He wants to pass it on 2nd down. Makes his connection. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Well, give the defense credit on that one because they knew coming into this one that they were going to try to get this receiver the ball in a variety of ways. They were ready for the screen there, and they create a negative play.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we have ourselves a ball game, and they have a chance to take the lead here before the half. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
So from his own end zone, the punt is away. He gets a block. Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this as a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for the position to get.
The expressway is wide open. Touchdown, Ohio State. And once he got loose, it was all over.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Not a lot of time left here in the half. Let's see if they can cut into this lead.
And this drive isn't a must score, but man, you look at the scoreboard. You're down 2 scores. Jesse, you got a good opportunity to create some momentum, cut it to a 1-score game. This is an important possession.
Yeah, it's important to create that momentum now, David, too, and not wait to get it going here at the start of the 3rd quarter. You've got one drive here to get a couple of points. You've got to start erasing and chipping away at this deficit. This could be where the game turns right here.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
Only able to pick up a yard before he stopped, and now it's 4th and 3.
The big defensive tackles in the middle, they're not always the best pass rushers, but they are strong, and I say country strong. They put their hands on you, you feel it. They lock people out on the line of scrimmage. They create separation. They wrap running backs up, and usually they don't get out of the midst of those big boys.
He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
You know, college football is so much about emotion and momentum and trying to find parts of games where you can grab it. How about going for it on 4th down on your own end of the field early like that and coming away with the first? That's huge.
He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
They're getting suffocated right away. How about the DB? Just seeing that initially, pulling the trigger, getting to him, get him on the ground, get the tackle for a loss.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And he makes the catch inside the 25.
And what a massive play for the offense. Not only getting the football across the 50, but they've now put themselves in position to steal a few more points here before the half.
And the Wolverines will snap it on 1st and 10. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
That's exactly what you're trying to get accomplished. You got to make sure on all these runs, clock running down, get out of bounds, right? Get some positive yards and then stop that clock.
From the gun to Gill, looking for room. They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. 1st and goal, and this feels like their chance to make a game of it. Chin. They'll immediately call timeout.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting them the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Not able to hook up there, incomplete. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll try to pass it in on 3rd and goal. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. And they will score! Touchdown, Michigan!
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement. And listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. So the offense has done its job. They have the lead, and they'll secure it as we head to halftime. As expected, they're content to run out the clock and go into halftime. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. And the Buckeyes will kick it away to crank up the second half. Going for the return. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. If they're going to get on top in this game, they're going to have to find a way to get the running game going in the second half.
Agree, so it can create some more balance, some more unpredictability. I feel like this defense has got a good beat on what they're doing, especially if they don't mix it up a little bit. So I do look for a little second half running the football Palmer out of this group.
And I think the thing, Dave, is they just got to be more physical. I don't think this is a scheme question about trying different run plays. I think it's up to the big fellas up front. They've just got to make the decision that they're going to be tougher here in the second half so that they can win this game.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. But if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it.
Oh, the sweet spin, and he's free. Oh, look out. And the tackle is made, but not before. That completion gets them 30-plus.
And I really like when offenses attack over the middle of the field. Between the linebackers and the safeties, there's usually a soft area that you can usually have some success. And a really nice job by this offense taking advantage of those areas.
And he's brought down after a nice game.
You're down. Obviously, at the half, you had a conversation. You got to come out and put points on the board. And, Jesse, it looks like they're going to start with the ground game.
And I love this, David, too. Regardless of whether they're losing or they're winning, come out here and try to be the most physical unit here in the second half. Get this run game established.
Drives into the defense, and they get him down after a pickup of 3 to the 16. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Out of the gun to give to the back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, there was just nowhere to go for the runner on that last play. Just way too much penetration up front, and as a result, they lose yardage.
A 3rd and long coming up here. He'll set up to throw. And that pass picked off. Trying to take it back. The 40. Past the 30. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Buckeyes. And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return.
I'll tell you what, as a DB, you're lucky if you get one pick six in your entire football life. This guy had one last game. He's got one this game. Quarterbacks are going to stop throwing his way.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Miami is running away with this one, thanks to an offense that may get its own 30 for 30 after this one. They're up by 23 over Oklahoma. We are the eyes and ears of the college football fan, and we've got you covered all day here in studio, guys.
Thanks for the update on that one. Kevin, let us know when it goes final. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
Quick completion to the right. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32.
How nice is it as a quarterback when you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
Not seeing a lot of chemistry between the QB and his intended target on that play.
Second down coming up. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38. That type of pressure on the quarterback, that's vintage Ohio State, right in keeping with the legacy that's been established by the Buckeye D.
Yeah, and you take pride in that. You own that legacy with all those guys you see performing at a high level in the NFL. Man, you see that, you want to go get it. Recruiting guys to fit those profiles. That's why Ohio State always has a good defensive line.
They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal. Everything will have to be clean from 55 yards away. And that is no good. My goodness, you need those field goals, guys, to cut into that deficit. We're still at 11. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. Third and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on fourth down. Release to the back. Got his man. He threw that one with some serious heat. This senior quarterback doesn't need a lot of space to get it in there. The Buckeyes will line it up on 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Here he goes breaking the pocket. Swings it out to his running back. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
From the gun. Give on the inside. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense. This feels like 4-down territory, 3rd and short from the 40. To the ground to try to move the chains. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
Not able to pick up that first down, David, but if I'm them, I'm going again right here on 4th.
Man, I think you knew that on 3rd and 2, short yard situation. You got it close to 4th and inches. Now we're going to get this first down.
They'll try to sneak it. The Buckeyes are moving quickly down the field. One back in the backfield. He gets the carry. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Softened him up with a run, and now to throw. He gets rid of it, but I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, here comes the flag. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. Trying the left side. Hard running there. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And that seemed a little off from the start, didn't it?
That was a big-time play, and it was off from the start because of the play he made.
And I don't think it would have mattered who was playing running back. There was absolutely nowhere to go.
And the Buckeyes will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Trying to find his man on first down. Got out of trouble and throws. Finds his man. And as they get him to the ground, clock running, looks as if time will expire here in the third. Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. He's looking to throw. It's complete. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down.
This is the moment for this offense to put a drive together. It doesn't matter what's happened up to the point of this game, but you're trailing right now. You've got to put some points up on the board. This is where all 11 guys need to be playing together as one.
They'll throw it on first down. Gets open down the middle. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down.
When you run those drag routes, it just takes a little bit of know-how. And when I say that, the receiver's got to understand, find space. My quarterback's going to find me. He's looking for that space at the same time. Nice throw, nice catch. Way to get the first down.
Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. Now on second and short. Looking to throw it again. Good timing on the quick out. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. These routes have some reads and adaptability built in, and the big fella found that cushion and made the play.
Man, it's so awesome how much offenses have evolved. They know exactly what they're getting, where to sit down, quarterback, tight end, on the same page, gets the first down.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks. Third and short, coming from the 34. You wonder if this is 4-down territory. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
Third and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive. And I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try to pick up the first. Brought to the ground, but not before getting enough for the first down. That's a good spot on the field to go for it. Really, everything to gain and not much to lose.
Yeah, and most coaches discuss or know pregame warm-ups how far their kickers can kick it. Do I have a boot to even consider this? But I think you want to stay aggressive regardless and go try to get extra points.
And incomplete on the deep ball. This quarterback desperately wants to make a chunk play, but they're going to be deepest to deepest, widest to widest. He's got to be patient.
No doubt. Situational football is probably one of the most underrated, untalked about things, like understanding the situation. I have the lead. They have to take shots down the field. I'm going to play pass. I got to rush the passer. I got to keep him in the pocket. All those things come into play throughout this game.
Quarterback trying to attack the middle of the field. I like the aggressive nature, but his receivers aren't 9 feet tall. No one's going to catch that. No one can climb the ladder. You got to bring it down a little bit.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And good coverage and better hands on that shot to the end zone.
Tell you what, I don't know if the offense was expecting man coverage that time. 3rd and long in field goal range, you're expecting it to be zone. Instead, they lock them up man-to-man, everybody on an island, and everybody won. They get the incompletion, now setting it 4th.
Never a doubt for this big-footed guy. 49-yard field goal is good. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Virginia is being brought out back behind the woodshed right now. This is cover your eyes, hug your loved ones territory. A real shame.
Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reed.
There's a live football. The defense grabs it, and they're going the other way.
And that right there, probably the biggest play in this game so far. The offense has the lead, and they're just trying to run the football to run this clock out. But the defense able to knock it out, jump on it. Now all of a sudden, this game has a completely different feel.
And he drops it. Just took his eye off of it at the last minute.
Well, the tight end's a guy that's going to have to be able to make plays for this offense in the passing game. That time, QB looking for the big fella. He ran a good route, just couldn't reel it in.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. He'll pull it down and run. That'll be a gain of about 7, leaves him with 3rd and 3.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously you don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this game.
Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a 1st down.
3rd down and short is exactly what you want in offense because you can run the football, make the defense suck up, but you can also throw it. Nice execution, 3rd and short, now set up in a 1st and goal situation.
Buys a little time with his feet. He just wisely got rid of that one. The worst thing that can happen to you is to turn it over on 1st down in the red zone. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. He now has 80 yards on the ground, and he's been terrific all season, ranking in the top 10 in rushing. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. And he's dragged down.
And here's the deal. 4th quarter, I'm trailing. 4th and goal, which makes a difference to me because I drove the ball down the field. I've had some success. Do I want to stay aggressive here? This offense is down, but has a chance to really put some points on the board and make a little bit of a splash.
Working that left side now. Touchdown, Wolverines! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And I tell you what, great job by this offense, great execution. You drive down the field, you get the score. Now what's your 2-point play? You practiced it all week. What's your go-to in this moment late in the 4th quarter when you need the 2-point conversion?
They got the touchdown, but still a 2-point conversion short of tying it up late. Was to pass. Now adjusting. And he will be sacked. And here in the 4th quarter, they were trying to tie it, and they cannot. Now down by 2, inside a minute to go. If they can get this onside kick, maybe they could get into field goal range. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Okay, Jesse, this is a little bit of a tight spot. You'd love to be aggressive enough to get the first down, but you've got to take care of the ball first.
No doubt. I was going to say, ball security is at a premium. You cannot turn the football over at this point. The defense has 3 timeouts left, David, so probably conservative play calling here. You're expecting them to try to run to ice this game.
Conservative, I know they're going to be aggressive, but I also know that one first down ends this football game.
We've reached a 2-minute warning in this offense, trying to milk this clock and keep time on their side. No reason to do anything here except keep it on the ground on 2nd and 5. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body. A nice way to go into the postseason and eventually the offseason with a W, but the question is, will it be enough to keep the Wolves at bay?
It's a great way to punctuate the season. You just have to wonder, though, if there were too many L's on the schedule to keep this guy around next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole body of work, right? You finish strong, but what does everybody look at? Like, how many games do you win? Who do you beat is important, right? Do you beat your rivals? Like, there's so much more. Do you have the team's ear still? So there's a lot that goes into decision-making, but it was definitely a disappointing season.
He'll pull it down. At the 35, he's loose. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Now this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on 4th down. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They have the lead in a one-possession game, but they're thinking deliver the knockout blow, but this carries big-time risk on 4th down. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them. The Buckeyes decide to punt it away. He'll call for the fair catch here. Offense set on 1st down. The give to the tailback. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
They're strong and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there. So instead of throwing it away, getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
This really has been a masterclass by the quarterback with decision-making, right? We've already seen him throw multiple touchdown passes in the game. He's understood when to take his shots and when to throw it away when things aren't there, like on that last play.
Throws to the tight end. Makes the grab, and it's plenty for the 1st down. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the 1st down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it, and now a fresh set of downs.
They'll throw it on 1st down. Pressure coming. Getting some heat. He's trying to get them set quickly. They have to get the ball into field goal range. Floats it out in space. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. They'll use a timeout with 26 seconds left on the clock. They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Soft spot in the middle. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And here we go, down a score. They'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try it on the ground. What a nifty run there to pick up the 1st down. They'll use the timeout. 6 seconds left on the clock. The Wolverines will have it 1st and 10. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. After the flag, 1st and 15 for this offense. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. They'll go to the air. Throws toward the end zone. It's incomplete, and the last chance is just out of reach, and that's going to do it. There's a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter adds another to that legacy.
Really impressed by the poise by the winning team as well here. They weren't overhyped in this game. They came out, they looked prepared, they were calm, definitely confident. David, they were able to go out and execute well enough to get this win.
Well, and it's hard in these rivalry games with all the emotions running so deep. Like, you sometimes get overzealous. Sometimes you get too many penalties. It's hard to rein in your emotions, but they did. They kept it.